The last I checked, which is very, very impressive, the number of followers that you actually have, for instance, on Instagram right now. Now maybe we can do a very quick live check. And you have now about 74.9 thousand Instagram followers, which is really, really impressive. And I can see that you have about 14.2 thousand posts on your Instagram. And I think more of a question, first question is, how do you manage your time? Maybe you can give us an insight. That's what is your routine like? Because it seems like, wow, you're like going to different places, connecting, like you said, businesses and individuals, being that powerful bridge. So how is your day like? In a day in a life with Rano, how is it like?
Okay. I would say that it changed because I would say maybe the first 10 years of when I started doing this online business, because maybe more of the huge chunk was from my blog. The blog was actually that spurred me to go into social media, but the blog back then, the traction was very high. There wasn't Facebook that back then. It came a bit later, and then Instagram didn't come as well. So the blog was essentially my platform to share news. But so how it works is I wake up really early in the morning. I do my blog like maybe 6 or 7 a.m. in the morning to be published before 8. I always have a deadline. Before 8, the news must be out. And
Wow.
then once it's out, then that's where I do all my chores. Like I'll go to visit my clients. I have meetings with my clients, and I also do coverage. And that takes up a lot of my time. Then I go back home. So most of the time, my first 10 years, I would say that I was an extrovert. Like I'm always out and about. And I'm also a social butterfly. I like to hang out with my friends at night or in the afternoon. And when I come back home, I have that energy back then. The energy is there. I have so much adrenaline that I can have less sleeping hours, like maybe 4 or 5 hours is just enough, because I'm inspired to type again and blog to get people to read my news. But it came to a point like, okay, I feel burnt out because I'm the person that always say, okay, I'll write a post for you, because a lot of people request, right? So there are times that I never turn down, and I'm a guy like, okay, maybe I was a crowd pleaser back then, but it affected me in a way that it affected my health. It affected, like, I feel tired, lethargic at times, And I said, oh, maybe because I always have this belief that no, I am still young, but the body will tell you something else. And that's when I realized, okay, maybe it's about time that I must know how to be selective. So it changed across the time, and now because of social media, it's faster. So now I concentrate less on my blog, more on social media, and it's faster in terms of I don't really have to type the whole bunch. The only thing that takes up my time is editing videos. Editing videos is, well, it has the least effort in terms of I don't make it really into sort of like a professional setting kind of. I know a few people will do that, but I'm just like, okay, I will do the Rano style, like very casual, so it doesn't feel intimidating, doesn't feel too commercial, but more authentic. So that takes up a lot of my time. I'm editing videos and coming up with ideas, and yeah, so that's how it is like. But now it's different. Like I would say that I spend more time um, relaxing, I guess, balance in life. I catch like movies, or I read newspaper. I have dialogue with my friends, and it's totally different from what I had the first 10 years, because the first 10 years mostly about work and very passionate about it. But now I know, like, a body can only take so much now, and it's good that I take care of my health, because there was a health scare like 3 years ago. So I was thinking like, okay, I think I must prioritize my health at the same time, and I'm glad that I'm able to overcome that. And yeah, I think this goes through experience. I know a lot of people. I've seen a lot of bloggers now in Brunei. They're so passionate, and I can see that, oh, that was me back then, like almost 20 years ago. But I guess it's for them to experience it, and they will definitely know their limits, their body limits, and And what's most important is that I must have at least 6, 7, or 8 hours of sleep.
Sleep, right?
And
Yeah.
3 hours of water. Water is so important. I think that, yeah. So I thought rest, So have a balance, and I think that's only one way that I can really sustain if I want to keep going in this field.
I love the one word that you mentioned, which is really about striking the balance. The balance, as you mentioned, is really very important, especially where we tend to, in the initial years of our career or maybe initial years of just going out there, giving our all, and sometimes maybe even to the expense of not having enough rest or at the expense of our health. But then now clocking in at least like maybe 6 to 8 hours is really, really very valuable. My earlier question to you was to check in with you, especially for our viewers who are watching this for the very first time. And in case they don't, let's say they've not heard of what are some of the great things that you are doing, perhaps you can share with us what are some of the things that you do right now.
Yeah. Now I would say that I don't know if I call myself as a social influencer, but I'm more of a connector. I'll help to bridge connections between the B2Bs and B2Cs, and these are the things that I do as well, even for the government side as well. So it kind of changed. I progressed along the way. So last time I would say that back in those days, they weren't a term that what they call social influencers, but I was playing that role before. But now it has changed and developed, and I thought that, okay, why don't I do something that's more for the community? So yeah, I think it kind of changed, especially in this pandemic. Like I see a different view now of how I share my news. And I would say that this time, I know like in Singapore it's different. Like Singapore, especially when you're a social influencer, it's your lifetime. It's like your, I don't know, it's like a career path. So and the benefits there is maybe bigger. Like I know like some of my friends who are in this line, like, well, they get paid a lot. For Brunei side it's different. Maybe we don't get as paid as much, but I would say this maybe for Brunei it's okay because the standard of living is not as high as in Singapore. But this was keep me going. So what keeps me going is I'm able to have an impact on people in more of a positive manner, because like Brunei is a bit sensitive when it comes to things that we cannot really say a lot of things. Like if I was to say something negative, then it'll backfire, it'll backlash. Freedom of speech maybe it's a bit subjective, and people are very careful in what they can say. So I give an example. If I was to say a food review, and I would say that, okay, I will give this rating 7 out of 10. It's still good, right? But people take it very harshly. Like, oh, you give only 7 out of 10. What happened to the other 3? So they're very sensitive, even though it's just, it's still positive, but, they say, I expect more than that, because they think that if I give a 7 out of 10, then they'll think that, okay, I don't think Rano thinks it's good enough. And I might influence other people, in my review. It's okay, maybe I wouldn't go I will wait for Rano to go if he says this is a 8 or 9 out of 10. So it's a bit different here in Brunei, and it took me a while to adjust. Like, I can't really speak freely in a way, like give my honest opinions, but I know how to go around it and make sure that the other party don't feel insulted or offended. So, but now it's different. Like I said, like the pandemic has really changed the way I express myself, but now it's more about connecting the government of Brunei with the community. So, but for me now, I feel like I want to settle down. Like, I don't think this will be my full-time thing. Like, I think that I still have capability to offer to, maybe being employed maybe one day, or maybe even running a business. So that's my dream, actually, to run an actual business, because I don't see myself being in this field for very, very long, and I'm not getting any younger. So I have to think of the future. It's like, okay, how I'm gonna consolidate my plans, like I'm still single, I want to settle down. So these are the new things that I rediscovered and said, okay, maybe it's about time I take things more seriously.
This is really a very authentic conversation, and thank you for giving us such perceptive insights as to what really goes on behind the scenes with someone like an influencer like yourself.